Vince Macciocchi, welcome. I appreciate you popping in here to talk to us a little bit about your experience with Fit Dad Syndicate. And, by the way, you've had a great transformation. And I remember talking to you about 6 months ago. And I know you're married to Lisa. I know you're extremely busy with what you do from a business standpoint. I know you could be around the globe at any time on a Zoom over in Malaysia, all the way to Europe. And so you got a busy schedule, and I know that for a fact. And I know when you came in, you kind of had some trepidation about that issue. But can you tell everybody just briefly, where were you prior to us kind of talking for that first time, as far as where were you physically and emotionally, and how did you feel, and why did you even try to call me in the first place?
Yeah, so Chuck, thanks for having me. And thanks for having me on the call and in the program, by the way. But where I was I couldn't get over the hump. I couldn't find the exact diet that worked for me. I couldn't find the exact regimen, the exact schedule. You mentioned my schedule. My schedule is inconsistent at best and all over the place all of the time. And I couldn't really land on what works best for me. I was at a place, I was an athlete in college, and I always exercised my whole life, but I continued to gain weight. And I measured from my 40th birthday to when I called you guys, my 56th birthday, and the amount of weight gain. And what I learned is you can't out exercise a bad diet. And the weight kept creeping up every year. You'd say 2 pounds a year, 3 pounds a year, 4 pounds a year. Well, over 10, 15 years, that really adds up. And it took me to a place where I was mad at myself, frustrated with myself, and being competitive, it wasn't me.
I get it, man. So prior to talking, we talk a little bit, we go through some of these things, and we got to know each other a little bit. So what were some of the concerns as you and I were chatting, and you were kind of deciding, is this guy full of it, or is this, what is this? Because the fitness industry blows, and I know it does. The fitness industry has got so much BS associated with it. So what concerns did you have, either prior to talking to me or even maybe after talking to me? You did decide to come in, but what were some of those concerns?
Yeah, my biggest concern was because I saw some of the testimonials, and you and I had talked, and we are starting to talk about the amount of weight loss or potential transformation. And having been able to do 10 pounds, even 15 pounds, and then gain it all back or gain more back, I was worried about my ability to commit to the time and the consistency it took to do the full transformation. That was my biggest concern. And I always use my schedule as an excuse too, and be like, well, no one lives the life I lead, and there's no way I'm going to be able to do this consistently. So how am I going to commit to doing this when it's not going to work because I've tried it before? So that was probably the biggest thing.
Okay, isn't it true now after the fact? Isn't it true? The one lie, and lie is a strong word, but the one lie I think people think all the time is, I know what to do. I just need to do the doggone thing. I need to have accountability. I need to have, my own self accountability and motivation. And it couldn't be further from the truth, because truly people don't know what to do. And based on the story they tell themselves in their head of what they think they have to do, they never get started. Do you think that's true?
I think it's absolutely true, without question. And, I was one of those. I thought I knew exactly what I needed to do because I had taken some weight off. Of course, I put it back on. I take it off, put it back on. And, I was an athlete and I exercised all the time. So, I didn't need a program, and I didn't need all these things. I knew what to do.
Okay, so let's hear the brass tacks. What are the numbers? Okay, people care about numbers. They want to hear. I know you do. That's what you like. Let's get down to the tack of it, because you were
That's right.
275 when you came in, although you were 6'6". You're 6'6", so you're a big dude. So
Yeah.
give us some stats of what the heck you ended up with in this program.
Yeah. So I'm still not done. Let's use that caveat. I've got more to do, and I'm excited about doing more. But actually, before I called you guys, I was 282. By the time we started the program, I was down to 275. But right now, I weigh right at about 235. So 40 pounds in slightly less than 6 months, or right at my 6 month mark. And my original goal was to get to 50 pounds and get down to 225. And so that's well within range, well within sight. And I'm interested to test, because what you told me when we first met is I may even want to keep going beyond my targeted weight. So we'll see about that. But we're creeping in on the targeted weight.
So when's the last time you were at the level you're at right now? Because you're 56. So the last time you saw these kind of numbers was when?
Yeah, my 40th birthday, right around my 40th birthday. And I had been on incredible training regimen and running regimen. You know, I played college basketball. Just ironically, my playing weight and what I felt was my most comfortable weight, I played at 238. So I'm below my playing weight. And I started the company that I work for now, I started 12 years ago, and I weigh less than when I started at this company. So there's some things in there that are pretty satisfying.
That's awesome. And we talk about, everybody talks about weight loss and fat loss, and they had a result, and then I had success, and then they put it back on. So you're at this level. So the ultimate question is this something where you're at right now? Can you maintain where you are right now for the rest of your life? And can you sincerely say that to people?
Without question. Without question. You know, it's funny. It's one of the questions you asked during the process, and that really resonated with me. And I went away and thought long and hard about it and said, you know, is this something I can commit to doing? I didn't know at the time, obviously, what it was going to take. You know, again, I thought I knew, and but having been through for 6 months, and can I live this life, and can I help others live this life? Without question.
Awesome. So there's a lot of people watching this, and like you, man, 6 months ago, you're perusing through these things and you're saying,
Yeah.
it's BS or what's going on. What would you say to somebody that's sitting here doing the same thing you were doing 6 months ago? It's debating. It's fitness industry. I don't know. It's got to be BS. How can it be sustainable? What would you say to that person that's thinking about doing this?
Do it. That's simple. Do it and push yourself over the edge and challenge yourself. And by the way, the biggest thing, invest in yourself. And emotionally, spiritually, physically, the whole 9 yards, but do it. And none of us are getting any younger. And sometimes you say, oh, I've got one more chance to look the way I used to. Go do it, and you can do it.
It's awesome, man. It's been great having you as part of the community, because I love the way you show up, even though your life's busy. Everybody, all of our clients are busy to some degree, because if you can't do this when you're busy, you can't do it, period. But you're busy, I know, on a very extreme level. So I really appreciate your involvement in the community, and you're always going to be part of the community. So thank you for doing this today. And if anybody has an interest in, what we're talking about here, somewhere a link here or a link below me, you can just book a call. And I usually do a 4 to 7 minute chat with people to find out a little bit about what your goals are, and also so you can get a resonation for who I am and what we do as a Fit Dad Syndicate company. So feel free, and then you can make a decision from that call if you want to go on and do something more. So Vince, thanks, man. We look forward to seeing you in future communications we have, because there's pretty cool forums where we're connected. You're stuck with us, so that's all I can tell you. Tell Lisa I said hi, and thank you so much for doing this for me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Chuck. Enjoy it very much.
Thank you.